Here I put some examples of these bags that keep living pieces all around, you know. So this, for example, is an orange bag. All right, what you're gonna do? You cannot put them on a drain. Do not wipe them out with cotton towels. Leave them on a side, pick them up by hand or with a little piece of toilet paper and put on a trash. Make sure they don't go to your compost, make sure they don't go to your gardens, and also products for the skin with sand in it, beads that are plastic beads, microplastic. So be sure and pay attention on all those little plastic items. And also, when you're doing your carpet, still vacuuming, they were not replaced yet, do not get that dust from carpet and put outside like the other regular sweeping. Regular sweeping is fine. You know, you can put with your compost. That's fine because probably it's sand or soil, right? That's fine. But not plastic or carpet, all right? Also dust, very important for dryers. You know the lint that you get from the dryers after washing your clothes, what you're gonna do? Put on the trash. You cannot put lint into your compost if you have any synthetic item on that load. If you're doing everything that's 100% cotton, that's okay. For example, bed sheets. If you're sure, because we do not want microplastic in our compost going to our gardens. So this is very important, okay? But for loads that you have synthetic clothes in it or partial synthetic, get the lint and put on the trash, all right? And after the organization launching day, we're gonna tell you what to do because everyone gonna have some synthetic clothes because they last, the paint lasts longer. Some are winter clothes or some blankets. We are going to tell you what to do because, you know, when we use the dryers for those items. So that's something we're gonna figure out what's the most sustainable. If it's to burn them, because we're not going to have trash pick up anymore, right? But then we're going to tell you what to do. Our organization volunteers are gonna search up and we're gonna figure the best and let you know. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Oh yes, the other thing is that, for example, if you have any sticker like that, you know, or some, save a few. If they're plain like that, you know, white or, you know, for the numbers I told you. Until we figure out the best option and the new plastic arrive with one that's printed, that's gonna stay for long, long time. Just in a little piece. You know, the squares plastic I just show you. Those little family numbers, everyone gonna have a number that's the most sustainable. They're gonna come ready painted from the producers, but until then, do the best you can. The plastic you already have. If you have money, you purchase what you don't have, and figure out your best, most sustainable way. All right, so keep some tapes like that for those kitchen items. All right, great. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Alright, the video didn't stop. My cell phone is having problems. So let's keep saying about a few things. Your veggies, depending on the size of your family, you're going to keep a veggies in a container like that. Let's say about 20 by 20, okay, for this one here. All right, this is, take this out, but what's the one I found? So that's the one I'm using for quite a long time. All right, so you're gonna keep the best ones you have because you don't need too many, but you also don't need too little. If you have too many, you're gonna share with your neighbors or give to the place that needs, right? Or give to the thrift store so people can buy them or get them from free. All right, so you're gonna keep your veggies like this. For salads, you can keep them in bags like that. That, of course, do not have paint inside. They have only paint outside, so that's okay. So if it's bought already from your garden, you already share on a Saturday, you can keep them on the bags you have. So keep strong bags. Like this one, have even a zipping things, you know. Those bags are very good. Keep them, all right? Because we're going to use, reuse, wash, use again and again. So on Saturdays, we're going to harvest and share all the food, right, as soon as possible. We start learning our practices, already learning and practicing our new rules and guidelines. So this one, for example, I have broccoli. So keep in a bag, so they won't dry, right? But you also need to keep what? Your radishes, your beets, and everything else in a better container, square, not round, because those squares can fit more one beside another. They use more their space, okay? Or in bags. Do the best you can, right? And always go to the transparent option more than plastic bags with written things. If you have a Ziploc bag with that little sliding plastic, it's okay, keep them for now until the new ones arrive in each country. Okay, all right, so give value to them and use them the best as possible. Always wash one or another, of course, have always them clean, okay? All right, so that's about this. Now, let's talk about your seeds. Every family gonna have lots of seeds, right? Maybe not, maybe don't have any at all. So, get all your seeds, and you're going to have a day that every family of that residential community gonna gather and see which ones are the best. So I have a lot of kiwi here. They say they're organic, non-GMO. I have other seeds. I have papaya. I have quite a few. All right, I have cotton. Look, so lots of cotton. Look how many seeds, cotton seeds. So what you're gonna do? Every family gonna have a meeting for the whole residential community. Gather them, the ones you're sure that they're organic, non-GMO. All right, or purchase ones, because right now you're using what we have. We need food. That's the most important. We need food, right? Start planting, mostly for fruits, vegetables, salads, herbs, roots. Plant them as soon as possible. Get the soil going and plant them as soon as possible so you have things, okay? Depending on the area you are. If it's too humid or not, just already get them labeled, you know, for this special meeting you're going to have in your community, and start talking about which one is the best to plant now, you can plant, which ones you cannot. So start getting all this information already organized, okay? So we have here, which ones you're gonna plant them as a sprout first, which ones you're not. And also tomatoes should grow in most of the places, all right? So get everything and talk about. So you're gonna see how you're gonna be planting them, okay? How many, how far, if they need sprout, if they go straight in land, if you have containers, because some people are really poor, in the middle of nowhere, and you're right there, you came from another country, what you're gonna do? The best you can, according to your reality. You cannot bring pots from cold region, United States, Alaska, or Canada, for example, and Finland, Norway, or Denmark, right? To a warm country. And if you're in the middle of nowhere, in a rural area, and decide you want to help these wonderful people, what you're going to do? The best you can. So you have no pots. So do little paper pots, right? If they have newspaper, use newspaper is what you got. Go ahead and use that option, because, you know, what you got is what you got. So what you're going to do? you're gonna do small paper cups to plant those seedlings, or you're gonna plant them in a good area. So the paper cups, you're going to look online, right, before you leave, because some rural areas do not have internet, right? And you're going to do that. All right. The other option is to put a brick, like the garden book I showed you. That's a good idea. You put that on the, let me charge my battery here, I'm sorry. Okay, so you're gonna put bricks on the top of a baking pan with a little soil, and you can put that. That's another idea, because the brick, the clay brick, gonna be humid and moist, that soil, in a shady area or half shady, depends what you got. Okay, and you're already going to use that the best as possible. So I think those are two options if you're going to the middle of nowhere, where they do not have plastic containers to plant. Okay? So I didn't find here right now in a hurry. They were so easy before, but right now, okay. So you arrive in the middle of nowhere, you help in that community, get information, you're gonna do the best you can. As I say, you can bring a few flashcards. And if you need some books, go ahead, because probably not going to have internet for some days or some weeks on that middle of nowhere, right? Like some places in Brazil, Africa, I don't know. All right, so here's the idea. All right, so you can make something like that. Do it with your hand or with something you already have that, because probably not going to have the ready ones for sale, or you're saving your money, or you don't have money, or maybe they don't even have for sale that on your city. Okay? So you're just gonna do the best you can. If you have families in the middle of nowhere have any plastic container, please save them. Any plastic container from the kitchen, items purchased, food purchased, because some places like in Brazil they have many plastics, even soda they used before. Go ahead, it's what you got. Use them, right? Like a liter, 2 liter soda containers, that don't throw them away, because someone gonna be on that community and guide if you don't know anything, right? So use them for now, and on the future gonna make the transition and use better ones that are reusable over and over along the years, like very strong plastic that can handle heat. They don't get pale or get the paint pale, and they're good plastic. They're not harmful. They don't leach into the soil sun. And for seedling, most of them don't get too much sun anyways. And go to the clay as soon as you can, for the sprouts. What else I can say? Yeah, or build some structure, the best as possible. Okay? All right, so I think we're good. Here, that's the brick idea, right? You put the brick into any plastic or a baking pan or something, because you just need that for a few days, excuse me, for them to sprout, okay? So, and they have many other ideas of many other types, okay? So this one, for example, is for honey. If it's a farm full of honey, or full of some other things, because you can put in bananas, like insert things in other fruits or veggies, go ahead. If they have plenty, of course, you're not going all the way to the city. If you're in the middle of rural area to get something, it's not plenty right now. But if it's the best option, go ahead, get the bus, go to the city, come back and use, fruits and veggies to insert seeds or sprouts or cuttings, okay? So you're just gonna do the best you can and go from there. All right, talk to you soon. Thank you. So now I'm going to give you a few examples of recycling. So, soft plastic, okay? So if you have plastics like this, everything that's soft, so I already took, this is not a sticker, it's just another plastic, okay? So you get all the plastic you have, depending on the area, you're gonna do the best as possible in your conscious. If they're small, you cannot use to clean up land, trash on the street, you're gonna recycle them. If you do not have recycling company for those in your county, so you can put them on a trash, all right? Because you're not keeping things like that at the houses, all right? Because it's not worth it. We're not creating recycling machine that use chemical to take paint out. We're just gonna burn with trash and put those ashes away. All right, so we are good like this. Now you get, if you have recycling company locally, like here in Florida we have some supermarkets that accept them, so you can go ahead and recycle them, all right? Okay, but if they are supermarket bags that you can use to clean up things from the street, keep those bags. This is because they're not real bags. You see, these are, for example, very small bags that come air in it with things purchased online. This comes with orange, but it's not really a proper bag as well. You see, it's a bag of orange, but you can't put trash, street trash on them, or items that are really small or cut because I took the tape out, So those cannot be used for street cleanup. So what you do, you go ahead and do the way I said. All right? If you have very small bags, like for example, this one, okay? So it's from lentils. You can use the little plastic bag, get your best one and put the little cotton towel to clean tables from parks, from places. You can do that. All right? So if it's they're very small plastic bags. As soon as you have transparent bags, you can already recycle the ones that are painted and already use the ones that are transparent. Okay? All right. So we're doing great. All right? And if you have bags, for example, like this one, a small hose. You see here, small hose, but they're big bags you can use at the street trash cleanup or land cleanup for trash. That's fine. Okay? All right. So just do the best you can, and soon as possible try to have only transparent bags for everything. Okay? Of course, not for street cleanup. Keep all your supermarket bags for in case it's needed. Wrap them round. You can wrap them round in a very easy way. They occupy a very small area. So for example, here's one example. You can tuck them in, you see, and you have them done very easily. So you can do like that, okay? So how I can do it? I'm going to show you. So you can do, I'm going to show you very quick. So here's an open one, all right? So you just slide them over like that, okay? And then you make a turn and tuck them in once or twice, you see? 2 times I tuck them in, and here, you see? You roll them inside. Look, they're very small. You can see them easily. I don't use them. I get them on the street sometimes, and I got the donation the other day, and I wash them and use them for trash, because my community do not have yet composting and things like that. All right? Okay, so we're doing great. And save every other plastic bag. You save until you're sure you don't need them anymore. For strong plastic bags, what you're gonna do, you keep them. For example, here I have these with oats. You keep them, might be useful. And what you're gonna do, use the ones that are half transparent or whole transparent as soon as possible. Replace them for transparent, okay? Because they can be useful. All right, so this is about plastic bag. So for the food items, use the best you can at your time. So if you have many jars like this one, you know, or if you have many plastics like this one, you know, so keep, because you're gonna have 8 kids plus you and your spouse, so 10, at least 10, and grandparents. So you're gonna need, use the best as possible. For example, these I'm saving many for our seeds and nuts. So we buy and then we share a little bit for everyone. When you guys buy the whole container, already share with everyone. Okay? So every person gonna have one of those. You know, so you need 10. Like for me, I'm saving for seeds and nuts while we have them available. You can put for 1 or 2 weeks, you know, and then you open a new bag 1 or 2 weeks, or for the whole month, you know, you see, because then everyone gonna have their jar. So if you have 2 fingers, because some places nuts and seeds is very expensive. If you have 10 fingers, depends how much you have, you're already gonna tell their children an estimate of time they're gonna use those seeds, a little bit each day or more each day. You're already gonna tell them. And for those, they can be used for food or for seeds and nuts. So wherever you have, try to have consistency, or 10 of those or 10 of these. I'm saving both because this one is for seeds. I have lids for them, you know, proper metal lids, and I'm going to excuse me excuse me. So I'm already going to save them. You see here, I already have lids for all these jars, small jars I got. And this one is for other things. For example, if I have radishes or cucumbers or, you know, fruits, if I get strawberries or pineapples or watermelon, I'm going to share with all these 10 people. So I'm trying to save and have 10. On this case, I have these 2, I have 3. I have one more here, and I have a flat one. I don't know where I put, different shape. So just do the best you can, because you don't need too many, but you also cannot have too little. You have to be able to share equally with everyone. All right? Okay, so just do the best you can. Of course, if you trust, you know, even the kids that you're adopting, to have glasses on their hands. Okay, that's very important. Or very elders, or a person that still have ADD or ADHD until they get better, they're not going to give glasses, of course. So if you have markers, already put a number in each. I think that's the best way, you know, instead of initials or that, because might not work consistently as a rule and guideline, but numbers are easy. Up to 10, up to 12 or 14, whichever number you have in your house, or which number you will have. They didn't arrive yet as grandparents and adopted children, teens. Go ahead, put it here, all right? If you have a sticker, you know, you're not disposed, you're not buying. No, you're not buying. But if you have a sticker, already put them here. And you just avoid washing that area, all right? That's fine. Or if you have a transparent tape, put a small piece of paper with the number and a tape on the top, just on that little square, the least as possible, because you need that, okay? And do in all the jars and the lids of the jars, you know, for this one, you know, the other side, and here with consistency. Okay, look, I already take the old tapes out. It's important for us to take out, for us to give value for the organization work and value for the new changes. That not going to be stickers for items for sale. All right, okay. If you already have many, choose the best ones you have. 2 for each. So for example, 1 for seed, 1 for the fruits when you have a big fruit such as watermelon and so on. Okay? All right, you're doing great. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Okay, so now let's talk about cleanup of school materials. So I said every child will keep 4 of their best tests or assignments, class assignments, right? For all subject areas. All right, so 4 assignments, about a page each or maximum of 2 pages each, no more. The best ones, I already explained that. All right, for little children, so only 4 years old and older. So kindergarten, Waldorf kindergarten kids. They're going to keep their drawings. Let's say their best, if it's a Waldorf school, their best 10, because they should be beautiful, wonderful, right? Their best ones. If it's in regular school, I think 4 is plenty, okay? Their drawings that they have from school or from home. So those that have at school, they're gonna bring home and get together. If they have any at the house, they're only going to keep this size, okay? Printing size paper. You see here, regular printing size paper. All right, so the children that do not have any at school and at the house, they need to make at least 4. So that's from 4 years old to 7 years old, or depending, right? If it's nomads or indigenous, they have any. So when they're gonna go to hotels or places they're gonna be receiving them, they're gonna draw over there. If they don't have crayons at that time, don't worry, don't do any right now, okay? They're going to do afterwards. All right, so for preschool kids, if it's anything related to items that we don't use, for example, related to video games, related to negative items, subjects or characters, so no superheroes, no Spider-Man, Iron Man, or all these heroes with masks, without masks, or anything else like that. Or even comics or anime or Harry Potter, anything like that, out. They're all out. Pokemon and everything else, all right? If they're also doing bad things, for example, they're falling, they are playing soccer, things that we're not going to use for our organization, you're also not going to use, okay? If they're doing positive games, playing at the gardens or things like that, you can keep, because you need to keep some, the best for each child, until the organization launching day. If that child has better ones, you replace. If they don't, keep the ones you already selected. Everything else you're going to recycle. If you have a shredder at home and was not picked up yet by your home community, you can use that shredder. You shred all materials you have, books you have, negative books you're not using. Just keep the gardening, composting, soil work, all this garden work, and shred everything else. Okay? All right. So, if you do not have a shredder, if you have a recycle bin, put on a recycle bin. If they are white, plain like that. If they have lines or written things, go to the trash can. If you don't have, of course, authorization to use your garden area, your soil, your land to plant yet. If you already have authorization, what you're gonna do? You're gonna cut in small pieces or shred, as soon as one of the neighbors have a shredder, and shred and put in some places by the organic gardens deep, okay? Because on the top, gonna be the organic soil with the garden beds planted, all right? So this is very important. Deep, why? Because they have ink, they have paint, or they're printouts from books that we don't want to use on our garden beds. Do not put them on areas where we will plant fruit trees, okay? All right, so this is good. So for every one of the whole family, we're gonna do the same. So for college students, university students, and for adults going to adult education, they're gonna keep only the best work, a few pages, okay? A very few pages until the family registration day. Or you take pictures or you're gonna scan, depends what you have in your region. Like right here in Florida, it's very easy. We don't pay anything. We can scan at the public library. We can scan without paying anything. But if we go to a regular paper place, bookstore for office items like Staples, Office Depot, these places, and then we pay. All right, so you're gonna just do the best you can. Then you're gonna take pictures because every one of the whole family, if they have something, they're gonna select their best work. Okay? All right. If it's a whole thesis, a whole work like that, you're going to take a few pictures of the whole thesis. For example, master thesis, or, an important essay, or important work, or important research you did in something. All right? So everyone, and the parents going to help their children, to have their best work done, academic, or study, private study or own study, the best work they have saved. Save them because we're going to take pictures, and then at the end we are going to see if you have to turn them in because we need some type of proof. So we're going to send pictures to have proof online. But every city office is going to have from each person something they did at schools. Okay? Or on their own. All right? And the essay that I already talk about. Right? For past good things and what you want to do on these 28 weeks. Okay, so we are done with that. School work, academic work in general, or private written work for everyone. Okay? And if the person wrote books or not, the same way, or negative or positive. Okay? And at the house, for now, only keep books about our gardens and our agroforestries. Okay? And composting, soil work, and things like that to share with your neighbors. And as soon as you have a room available, if you have or not a clubhouse, you're going to be having meetings, choose the best ones, and going to focus on that and have your start your practice until details are placed for each one in each zone, each county, for each area. All right? Okay, great. That's about a few different things, but anyways, a few more updates for all of us. Talk to you soon. Thank you. My cell phone are having problems. I can't stop the video. Imagine. Another update about conserving the environment and other sustainable practice, please go ahead and recycle them. Because if your school of any age or adult education, university, everything gonna be new. Make no sense to focus on that even for English, all right? So every book about sustainable practices and everything, just go ahead and shred them and put lower in holes, by the edible gardens, far away from fruit trees, right? Because everything gonna be given new. What we really need now are the gardening, composting, soil, okay? Yes. So that's improvement up to now, April 10th, 2022. Even for science books. Yes, science book you can keep, and math books you can keep, one per class until the new ones arrive, okay? Other than that, everything else, all classes, all types, focus on garden, all right? For math, Even the history, you can say which civilizations done gardening, which countries do the most garden, which countries, some of them couldn't do it, and of course say focus always soon after the countries that already have gardens at the streets, like in Europe, something. I think that's the best, okay? All right, we're doing really great. And all books about sustainable practice, go ahead and recycle, shred and recycle them. Okay, great. Now, if you are in a place where fishery is a big deal, yes, you can talk about that a little bit, how it's going to be according to the updates, because if they are mid and high school, they can already have just a few words. We're not doing learning games or anything like that. But as a transition from what they had and what we will have, only if they live by the ocean. All right? If they live by the ocean, fishery is a big deal for them. If they have a big port, so they can have transition, because the information you're going to give in the classrooms, they're going to bring to their parents and ask them to talk to their parents. Next day, you ask, who talked to your parents? And give them points to the ones that did the work. All right? Because that will be important. So, but this is only if fishery is important at your city. If you're right there by the port, or if, have many fishermen, not a port at all, but many fishermen with small boats or big boats or wherever. All right? Or if you live in a city that has, like, let's say, a city that has oil extraction right there. So you're already going to be talking, because those parents work on those locations. They're going to lose their job, going to have new jobs. So start talking. We are doing this and that because it's not possible. They have many leaks. We don't need them anymore. We're going to focus on solar panels, solar electricity. So you're going to be talking. If they have a big dam from a river nearby. So for subjects that are related and very important to each different county, you're going to be making the transition talks right now. Okay? And going to be guided at the website with details for each school and how you're going to be. But you're going to start already making the transition for all those subjects. Okay? All those subjects. What is big in your city? Okay? It's a fishery. It's oil extraction. It's a production of one thing or another. For example, some third world countries were doing a lot of leather treatment. We're not going to do anymore. We're going to be talking how harmful can be. Chemicals were used in gardens, chemicals that were used for leather treatment, animal leather, right? So you're going to start talking so they have the transition of it. All these ships, so the parents gonna receive the information in a good, positive way. Already start talking as soon as you can. Start talking with your students. Oh, how beautiful gonna be these gardens. Everything to motivate them, to inspire them. Instead of saying, oh, we're gonna lose our jobs and this and that. No. Look how nice, we're gonna plant food right here. We don't need food from far away, from other countries, other continents. So you're gonna be talking about in a positive way. The same ways, if you have here in Florida, we have a lot of places that preserve turtles. No, my friends, we don't need that. Let them go. From our hearts, they're gonna born in better animals, all those spirits. So what you have really big in your city, in your county? Let's focus in your county. What do you have? It's that's positive, we're going to keep doing. That's negative, we're not going to be doing. What do you have? Museums going to be down. We don't need museums anymore of any type. Okay? We are not spending millions of dollars of money to treat one species, other species that we don't need. Okay, or horses only gonna be in nature and wild in state and national parks only where we still have predators that can kill the ones that are sick or the old ones. So we have a proper sustainable living. So for each one, for each area, you're gonna see what you're gonna be talking, which class can be used. You're gonna have meetings, because depending what it is, if you have corals, if you have forests, if you have semi-arid or desert areas, that is called transitional thinking, all right? Every school needs to have some type of something, that's very important. For example, in countries that have rural areas that are not going to exist anymore because it's one house really far away from another, and where it's possible to have new lands or not, and or places that have water, and in places that do not have clean water. If it's houses far away from each other, probably they're not going to have. So you're going to start talking, have critical talk, transitional critical talk with your students. That's very important according to your reality. Stop talking about COVID. COVID talks forbidden. Masks, COVID mask forbidden. Start talking of what things we need. Our gardens, our agroforestries, okay? Organic food, trash cleanup all over, okay? All right. So those are some, I just got those books. I don't need authorization because they're right here at the library. The best. We are not saving hundreds, millions of dollars to save animals that got oil. No, just kill them all. We're not cleaning animals that were hurt with oil. Please, let's focus in better practice. Kill them, bury them, clean, everything, and focus on praying for animals to already born in good, sustainable animals. We're not spending money to treat animals that cannot grow anymore. We are cleaning everything, or machinery and everything that is underground and in the water, in the oceans and rivers. Yes, we are. Oil drilling or old shipwrecks and everything, and will be forbidden for people to be studying on, visiting them. We're just going to take everything out. Recycle or bury or burn, whichever is best. We're going to get all done and no more going to be done, okay? And also in submarines, end of submarines, no more forbidden. We studied the ocean enough, we don't need any more. Because not sustainable, my friends, not sustainable, okay? All right? And don't judge everything I'm doing, everything the headquarters are doing, the volunteers are doing, I'm sure is the best we can do for now. Okay, and after the organization day, better information gonna be given and updated the best as possible. Okay? All right. So that's very important. Just do yourself as well. Don't judge your neighbors, your friends, your colleagues, other teachers. Don't judge anyone, because they also have to do the best as possible. So if you have a notice from organization volunteer, that came in person, that came in email or social media or wherever, in a note, right, in a letter, just accept, get everything that they're telling you what to do, and do your best. Don't judge because that's not the right place, and don't be a victim too. Every information gonna pass to others. If you are an organization volunteer, just do the best you can to give that information to inspire, in an enthusiastic way and not to put anyone down. Look, your company needs to close down, let's get it done. No. Look, your company needs to close down because not positive, it's not sustainable, or it's a negative item. But we can renew, my friends. Let's get it done. I'm gonna help you, like for animal farming. Look, we're gonna get it done. We have a team. That's another video. All right? Okay, great. Talk to you soon. And let's plan for everyone in all countries, all educational sites of all age groups, even kindergartens, 4 years old and older. Of course, with a very simple sentence for 4 years old. We are going to have this transitional critical thinking. All right? Okay, talk to you soon. Have a wonderful and blessed day. So, I just said a few words about those books. So what we're gonna do, instead of talking about the environment in general, we are going to focus on composting and gardening. All right? So that's the last update, April 2022. Instead of having books like that, every teacher gonna focus on what? Composting and gardening as of April 10th, 2022. That's the last update for your area, of course. Okay? All right. And soil and everything else you need, and tree plantings. Okay? And the least as possible on your science book and math book, and that's it. Just science and math, because all the others are not needed. We're not going to use them. Okay, so even for the country language that everyone now gonna be English, you're already gonna focus on those things: outside games, sentences, and so on. All right, great. You got the last updates on books and school subject areas. Talk to you soon. Okay, here I'm going to give you some examples, all right, of work that the students can do according to their grade level. For example, the student's gonna go once a week to the libraries, of course, if they have their libraries, right? For most of the schools in all countries. All right, so they get a book like this, for example, okay? And then you're gonna ask them to read and write an essay or a paragraph, okay, on your new books, right? New notebooks. All right. So, giving some example. So if they are, for example, middle and high school, and you have a book like that in your own language, that's okay. You're gonna keep a bit more because they need something, right? Okay, so that's in English or your own language. All right. So you're gonna ask them to get choose 2 or 4 items, right? And write an essay, a critical essay about this topic, depending on the level of those students, of course. All right, so here we have some examples. The Earth faces an environmental crisis. The Earth does not face an environmental crisis. Global warming poses a serious threat. Global warming does not pose a serious threat. Let's stop right there. No, let's go a bit more. Deforestation threatens the environment. Deforestation does not threaten the environment. So what you're gonna ask? So you have 6 topics here. So what you can do? You can have options. Depending on their age, you're gonna choose. You're gonna do that to the whole class. Instead of doing storybooks like in Florida, that have full of negative things, you're gonna focus on good things. These are some ideas for their essays. Okay, so you have 2 things of the same, 2 titles about the same subject saying different things, right? So you're gonna have a critical thinking, critical explanation, a critical talk. Let's say you can choose 5 or 10 minutes to talk under the trees, for example, about that, and then everyone gonna write a paper when they go inside the classrooms. All right, so here you have, you're gonna say how this happened, and gonna read, each student can read a paragraph, so you're already knowing how they're, if you're using your own language, because they have to keep going, okay, until the new system arrives. You have to use what you got. They have to keep writing some sentences, some vocab, some sentence, and then small paragraphs and bigger paragraphs. Okay, depending on their level of English, you're gonna ask the same, some vocab, some sense. So you're gonna talk a little bit and ask them to write a little bit in English. Focus in English for everything. So for another subject, another 2 subjects, the same thing, global warming, and then deforestation. You can try again. Get the basics vocabs and write sentences, okay? And if they can, small paragraphs and bigger paragraphs, all right? If your students do not speak English, do not write essays yet. Focus only on what I said. Vocabularies in English, sentences, and very small paragraphs and paragraphs. All right? Okay, so here's some ideas. And then, if you have a book like that, from all the chapters, you're going to choose the best one. Okay? You're going to read ahead, talk to the teachers, choose from the whole library what you can work on those 2 weeks. Okay? Because sometimes it's better to have something like that, or a garden book, or a book about composting, for example, instead of going on with your country language and translate that. That make no sense, because the grammar, everything is different. So for your country language, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna choose the best books you have. Composting or gardening, right? As I showed you before, a gardening book, or okay, I think, yeah, instead of the environment. And depend, this one, for example, if you are in a location that is fishing is a big deal for environment, you have to address somehow. How? Vocabs, sentences, small paragraphs, and regular paragraphs. Regular paragraphs of 4 lines, up to 5 or 6 lines. I think that's plenty. 4 or 5. Let's focus on 4 or 5. I think that's plenty. Focus on English. All right? And the best as possible on agroforestry, and how you're going to start the layout of the garden beds, how you're going to start and have your soil ready, seeds ready, and everything. All right, have wonderful and positive days. Talk to you soon. Okay, so about soil, what you're going to do, you're going to study the types, which type you have in your property, if it's a school or if it's a residential community, what you have to do to improve it, okay? You're going to start teaching your students, or teaching yourself, or teaching, if it's a parent, don't know, or if it's a subject area that's nothing to do, because everyone going to focus on the gardens, right? Do the games to learn? Yes, but work on a garden. That's why I said every other day. Because on the beginning, you're just going to do the best you can. So you can do every other day. So one day you do a half-an-hour game inside, a half an hour with outside learning games, a half an hour inside notebooks, right? With the new notebooks as soon as possible, okay? And every other day, garden work for that subject area. Because the kids actually and teens gonna be going outside every day. but they're not going to stay 4 or 5 hours outside. Or, no, it's too much. So some counts already hot, 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so you're just gonna make, gonna have those meetings and decide the best as possible. Because some countries, everyone has dark skin. They can handle. They are already outside a lot. They are used to. And some countries, everyone is white as white can be. So you're gonna have adjustments, right? The best as possible. Okay, so for the soil, for the plants, which one? You're gonna make games. Which plant we can plant right here? And you already get it. This can grow from April to August, and say the name. This can grow from November to December. This can grow during winter time. Or this can grow during summer time. Or kale can grow here all year round. And radish can grow here all year round. You're gonna make some simple sentences like that, already saying what you're sure, okay? And then gonna have the games that I already told you, the games that will be approved. And if you have good games, already post them for your school. So my name at your school channel, ask your principal to make a channel for all those teachers there. And then you create a game, you're gonna say, my name is, my case, Goiana Ferreira, right? My name right now. Okay, my name is Goiana Ferreira. Here are the games I made. Please use and share how much you want. And then you post there at your school channel for all teachers of all grades. Okay, after the organization launching day, we're gonna have the best games for each grade level, for each zone, right? Each region for teachers to use. All right? Okay, my friends. So thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Have a wonderful and blessed day. It's positive. Families United. For example, it's a teen book about a love story that's successful and positive all the way. They met in a park, they met in a state park, both families were there gathering a day or at the beach, and then they fall in love, Good stories. Nothing about lesbians or gays or families destroyed, families apart, divorced parents. No, we have to focus, my friends, in good things. Happy people, positive people, no one with, body, physical problems, mental, emotional problems, no, spiritual problems, no. No diabetes, cholesterol, depression, or problems of any type, ADD, ADHD. We are not mentioning this. We are focusing, my friends, only in very good, positive stories. Okay? That's very important. That's rare. Very rare to get. At least as far as I saw here in Florida. Okay, so we have to focus on very good stories. I used to create a lot of stories for little kids, and that because it's so hard to get very good stories. Once all the fairy tales, far as I know, don't have one. The last one I was still telling my kids was about the shoemaker, But we're focusing now even to be better than that. We're not talking about fairies or gnomes or things like that. Okay, we are focusing on reality and positive things. Even angels, even angels. We are not talking about angels anymore, or unicorns, or anything like that, because they're not needed. We're going to focus on better things, more positive things, okay? So even the shoemaker was the last story I was telling my kids, my students, and my children many years ago. That was one of the last ones. All right, my friends. So if you a teacher or a student want to create a story, go ahead, but don't write. Start to create in your mind. You can have one piece of paper because we're going to clean up everything, right? For the house cleanup. So have a piece of paper, that's fine, with the main topics of your story. And because we are going to send you guidelines before you send proposals. All right, But for the existing ones, existing stories, that's fine. You have to, the very good ones, give the students to read and approve it. All right? Okay, I think we're doing great. And for subject books, I'm saying this way because that's the best way for everyone to understand for all countries. Subject books with images, because when it's too many words, you keep only, because countries that do not speak English yet, going to be hard for them to do anything with them. Okay, but keep them, because some countries might have dictionaries or computers that they can start translating and studying. But focus on those. You see this one here, look, no pictures. It's hard for people that do not speak English. But for those that already have images, that's better, because they can translate titles, they can try to translate one paragraph, or it's easier for them to learn English. And let's say about this one, about composting. So if they have some images, that's better. It's not too much text, so it's better. And if you have them in your county, you can start having a point of view on that. Oh, is this good or not? What do you think? And start speaking English the most as possible according to your reality. Put words, vocabs, or verbs, a list of verbs, 4 verbs every day, or 2 verbs, depending on your reality, or 10 verbs. If some already know a little English, start to already organize which students know a little, which students don't know anything, so they can help each other, right? Okay? So, in this plant, and this compost, this good or not, words, focus on vocabs, fruits, veggies, leaves, roots, okay? Herbs, all right. Okay, my friends, do the best you can, and we go from there.